Okay, so today we're going to talk about what if your husband doesn't give you the time of day? Okay, he spends very little time with you. He'd seem like he'd rather channel surf, scroll TikTok, pretty much anything besides hang out with you. So today I'm going to tell you why he's doing that, and also what the number one mistake women often make when trying to get their husbands to give them their time and attention, and what you can do instead. So when your husband is just neglecting you, not paying attention to you, what's the most instinctual thing to do? You go to him and you say, "You're not prioritizing me. You'd rather watch TV than spend time with me. Why don't you even want to spend time with me?" And you might just feel like hurt and like, you know, he doesn't even care about you anymore. And this would be an honest and genuine sharing of exactly how you feel. But it comes across to him as judgment and criticism, and it drives him further into his shell. So the first thing you have to know is that when a man is not spending any time with you, he may not even be totally conscious of that. What's most likely happening is he's instinctually crawling into his shell to shut the world out. And this is a self protective mechanism. So, why does he do that? Well, there's lots of reasons, and they might not have to do with your relationship, like stress at work and whatnot. But often it's because he feels a lack of emotional safety in his relationship with you. And why might that be? Well, perhaps you've been telling him about the ways he's disappointing you. Perhaps you've been the tiniest bit resentful and angry. Perhaps he's well aware of how he's falling short, or at least how you feel he's falling short. And all that adds up to him to just a felt sense that I am not welcome here. And so he hides out. Now, some men hide out in plain sight and they watch TV, and it's like they've got, I call it like the Darth Vader mask comes on. They can't see you, they can't hear you. They're just zoned right out, unplugged. Some hide out in the garage, some hide out at work, some hide out at hobbies, but they're escaping what is essentially an uncomfortable experience. Now, is his behavior your fault or your responsibility? No, like absolutely not. It is not. He can just have his feelings. But if you really want him to come back, if you miss the man you used to have around, I want you to know that telling him directly that he is doing something wrong or that he doesn't care about you, it's going to make it worse. Like it will backfire. So, what can you do? First, and this is always my advice, do whatever you can to generate your own happiness in your life. And for the love of God, do not just wait around the house and just fume at him, where you're like feeling this tension building and you're like, he's ignoring me and I'm right here. And it's just this big huffy tension. It's such a waste of your energy. It'll make you both miserable. Don't do that. Sometimes you just need to get out of there. Just walk away. Go out for the evening. Call a friend. Don't ask permission. Just go live your fabulous life. Now, I know it's a bit more complicated when you have small kids, but it's not impossible. I have small kids. It's not impossible. So, why is this effective? You become more attractive because you're happy and alive. He's not being the person you met, but you're not being the person he met, right? Life has happened to you and it sucked the life out of you. You got to get that life back. Also, very important, he gets to miss you. He's felt under pressure from you, whether it's your energy leaning on him with complaints or demands. And so he's not able to come towards you. He feels pushed away. But when you go away, happily, I might add, not in a big huff. We don't, it's not an ultimatum. We're not like, fine, I'll leave. It's like, no, I'm going to go choose me. I'm going to go do something that feels good for me. I don't have to wait for that. Then he gets to wonder where you are and he gets to think about you and he gets to miss you. And this is very important. This is a necessary part of maintaining romance and attraction in a relationship. Your husband needs to miss you sometimes. Then, once you've got back in touch with yourself, then you can start talking again and you can pose invitations. And you do this by sharing what would feel good for you and sharing desires. So, hey, I miss you, I really love it when we just sit down and talk at the end of the day and you just listen to how my day went. That's like, that feels great for me. Or, I've noticed there's that new restaurant in time and I would just love to check it out. Like, do you think you could take us out this week sometime? That would be wonderful. Now, the key here is you're not making demands, which means if he says no, or if he doesn't take you up on it, You don't get to get mad. You don't get to fly off the handle, because then it's not a genuine request and it's coming with an expectation. So you just start talking this way while you also keep making yourself happy. And I promise you, eventually he'll take you up on it, because now you're this lively, awake, just present, beautiful woman. And if he married you, he is absolutely in love with that person. He loves it. He's attracted to it. He wants to spend his life with you. And he's going to want to come and find you and spend time with you. So these techniques all work very well, but they're not the whole story. When I work with my one-on-one clients, I always focus as the foundation, creating a climate of respect and appreciation. Because without that, you will not have emotional safety. You need the respect and the appreciation for your husband. Now, again, this is not to say he shouldn't respect or shouldn't appreciate you, but the way that my process works is we only talk about what you can do. That way we don't get caught up in worrying about his response or what he should be doing or shouldn't be doing, or if it's fair or not. It's just all, they're distractions. The distractions from you getting what you want in life. And to be fair, I work with men too. I tell them exactly the same thing. We look at his wife through rose-colored glasses. We try to understand why she might be doing the things that are driving him nuts. And we work on strategies for him to create emotional safety with her. So these can work in either direction. So this is so much fun for me to do, because people's marriages are saved. People who had pretty good marriages get amazing marriages. And we get the tools to make it last over time. It's not a flash in the pan. And coming up on March 31st, I'm going to gather some women together and just have a one-time Zoom call. It's only $25, and I'm going to answer all your questions. And so if you kind of want to work with me, you want to dip your toe in, and you're not sure what it would be like, this is a great opportunity for you. Just message me and I can get you all the information. But it's going to be so much fun. March 31st, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. It's kind of going to be a girl party, because the one thing that is missing in all of our lives is sisterhood. Maybe not all of our lives, but many of us. We move away from our mothers, we move away from our sisters, and we get in this isolation in COVID, and it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare for women, and it's a nightmare for marriage. And so I want to bring us back together and really build that connection of women supporting women to get what we want. So that's all I've got for tonight. I'm so glad you're here today, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye-bye.